What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Sportorium podcast. You know what happened? Jets, obviously, big loss. Why Tyler's wearing that Patriots jersey.
Again.
That's two times, man. Yeah. Are you just a Patriots fan at this point?
No.
No. Okay.
It's really not okay.
The coin doesn't lie, all right? Yeah, that means Steve's will be wearing a Jets hat again in a couple weeks.
I might. All right. So we're just getting right into it. Going over the first game, Thursday night, Titans Packers. Rupp, what are your takeaways?
Derrick Henry is a better quarterback than Ryan Tannehill. No, I'm kidding. Tannehill actually had a pretty good game.
He did.
Treylon Burks looked pretty good. Just coming back from injury. Packers disappointment after a big win over the Cowboys. Maybe they're not actually good.
They're definitely not, but they didn't look bad though.
They looked all right.
Yeah, like Christian Watson, 2 touchdowns. Finally learning that he's a wide receiver. And once again, I've been saying it every single week. Aaron Jones has 12 carries for 40 yards and they lose the game. If you give him more handoffs, he's going to have over 100 yards. It just happens, and then you win the game every single week.
Yeah, well, that's just bad coaching then.
It is.
But we knew Matt LaFleur is not actually a good coach, so.
I don't know. I thought the Packers defense didn't look good. There were a lot of times like the Titans wide receivers were wide open.
Especially Treylon Burks.
Yeah.
Now, next game we're getting into is the Panthers and the Ravens. The Ravens didn't look good at all throughout the whole entire game against a very bad Panthers team.
Yeah, they were playing against Baker Mayfield, so.
And
Yeah,
he's terrible. He's terrible.
He's so bad.
He's so bad. Every single time that he plays, I'm gonna say it. He's terrible.
Yeah, he is just really bad. There's just nothing like good about him at this point.
I don't know. I think they should play Donald. What do you got?
Yeah, I don't know about that, but
I mean,
you got nothing to lose. You know, if you start Baker, you're gonna lose.
yeah, but I think they just want to lose at this point.
They're definitely eyeing Stroud or Bryce Young. But I mean, I agree with you. Baker Mayfield is terrible. PJ Walker is hurt and terrible. Why not get a third QB that's terrible?
He's better than Baker Mayfield.
Oh, yeah, no. PJ Walker is definitely better than Baker Mayfield. But, I mean, if Sam Darnold looks fantastic, obviously it's not going to happen, but maybe throw him on your contract. Who knows? He's not going to look good, though.
they should just play him at this point.
I would say there's literally nothing to lose at this point.
They're paying him $18 million. Just let him play. Like, you're literally paying him just to sit on the bench.
As he should, though. He's terrible, too.
He should, but, like...
Yeah, getting back to the game, though, Demarcus Robinson is wide receiver 1.
Apparently.
Yeah. It's 9 catches for 128 yards.
Yeah, he would have been wide receiver 1 in the Chiefs.
He would have this week, at least. But, I mean, that's another team that, if they're not in on Odell, I don't know why. Because they have a good enough team to make it to the playoffs and maybe make a run, but the receiver depth is just not there at all. It's just Mark Andrews and then a bunch of just practice squad guys, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, other guys make plays every now and then, like Devin Duvernay has a random touchdown a game sometimes. Like Demarcus Robinson, I mean, he did look good. Don't get me wrong, he did look good. But if he's
not good.
He's had a couple of games like that, though.
It's good to see a guy step up, but geez, man, get Lamar a weapon on the outside. All right, next game we're getting into is the Browns and the Bills game. Obviously, supposed to be a snow game. Had to move the game to Detroit. It was a pretty bad first half for the Bills. They were just letting Jacoby Brissett look like, I don't know, Brady with legs. Amari Cooper had a great game, but props on the Bills defense holding Nick Chubb to, I think this was like his lowest yards per carry of his career. He had 14 carries for 19 yards.
He probably was up there.
It has to be. So, I mean, it's a good thing that they stopped Nick Chubb, but then they let Amari Cooper just absolutely toast them. So, Josh still looks off. He's missing throws. Maybe it's the elbow at this point. I really don't know. But running game looked good. James Cook had 11 carries for 86 yards. Devin Singletary had 18 carries for 86 yards. I don't know. It was a sloppy game, but I'll take the win, I guess.
Yeah, that's really the only takeaway.
Just the same struggles happening. I don't know if it's Dorsey. They were terrible in the second half for the past.
The defense also doesn't look great.
Granted, they are still missing guys. But
yeah, I mean, besides locking up Nick Chubb, but Jacoby Brissett had probably like his best game of the year. So
a lot of garbage stats, though.
No, he did, but he was still like throwing the ball pretty well in the first half.
Yeah, especially, dude, I'm like, it was like 3rd and 11, like 3 different times, and they get it. It was so annoying. But as we could see, that offense is going to be pretty good when Watson's back if he looks how he
Yeah.
was 2 years ago. David Njoku was not really involved at all, which was kind of weird. They
Well,
threw it to
he's also
Harrison
just
Bryant
like
a lot.
coming back.
I
from
hurdled
injuries,
somebody.
He did hurdle somebody, and that somebody was Jordan Poyer. It was very sad to see. I was like, oh, it's probably Christian Benford, that guy. Speaking of Christian Benford, the guy is a walking penalty. I say it all the time. Every single time that he's covering a route, he's holding. You could
Nah,
throw a
it's your
flag
boy,
on every
bro.
play.
He's a walking L.
He's a 6th round pick starting outside corner from
You love
Villanova,
him.
and he has a face tattoo. I
Does
mean,
he
I do like
actually?
him, but he does have a face tattoo. I don't know
What
what it
does it
is. But it's
say?
like
Oh.
right here. It's like a little symbol. It's pretty funny. One of the main things, just we need Trey White back, man. I don't know what's going on. Like the guy's missing almost 2 years from a torn ACL. Like I don't know if it's a mental thing, but he's just not ready to come back yet. Next game we're getting into the fraud Eagles against the Colts. Once again, cupcake schedule, but they almost lost. They got very lucky because the Colts just forgot that Jalen Hurts is one of the best running quarterbacks in the league at the end of the game.
He literally just ran up the middle of the field like untouched.
That did happen. Yep.
Yeah, I'm happy that the Eagles actually won though, because we would have heard about Jeff Saturday. Oh, he beats the Eagles.
Yeah.
He's 2-0. Like,
I mean,
this-
the Eagles coaches were like on top of benches, like talking to the crowd.
Yeah, Nick Sirianni
Gross.
was like pumping up the crowd. It's like, bro, you just beat like the worst team in the league by 1 point. Let's calm down for a second, sir. But Jonathan Taylor looked pretty good.
He looked
For the
pretty good
most
on like
part.
the first drive.
Yeah, and then after that,
He had
And
like
then he
5
fumbled.
and then he fumbled and had like 30 yards the rest of the game.
Matt Ryan's a statue. Yeah.
Matt Ryan like tries to run too.
It's still going on. We were talking about that a couple weeks ago, how he tries to like evade sacks.
He's like,
Like,
running
bro.
in like slow motion.
Pretty much. He loses like 6 yards. There was one play in particular where he actually just ran backwards.
Yeah, and then he turned right into somebody or something,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, it was absolutely terrible.
Yeah, it's Will Levis season for them.
It could be. It could be. Maybe they get Lamar somehow if
No.
he hits free agency. Maybe Derek
Lamar's
Carr.
getting franchise tagged.
I'd say at like the absolute minimum, he's getting franchise tag, but they
Yeah.
should just extend him. It's very stupid that they don't. I feel like they hate him. They don't extend him. They don't give him a receiver. Their only attempt at getting him a receiver was Rashad Bateman, and that
Yeah.
hasn't really turned out too well. Next game we're getting into, game of the week, baby. So entertaining throughout the whole entire game. I loved that I had to watch that game.
Tyler,
But
I'll
Tyler,
let
talk
you go
about it.
first.
I lost faith in Zach. Honestly,
We all
like,
did.
especially after his press conference, we all lost. As fans, we lost faith in him. He's not
I mean,
the
his
guy.
teammates did, so I wouldn't expect that the
Maybe he
fans
could
to-
turn it around, but right now it's not looking good for him. The only bright side is the defense. That's really it.
Yeah. I can't believe Zach said that.
He,
Like, that's actually
It was just
unbelievable.
terrible.
you're the quarterback. You got to take responsibility.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
actually
Dude,
like
what
embarrassing.
Like-
What leaders does that?
He's not a leader.
Exactly.
Oh, I mean, you should
Yeah.
be a leader as the quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw that after the Bills Jets game. We spoke about it. That Josh said, "Hey, I played like shit. That's why my team lost." And then Zach Wilson he literally does nothing, and then says that he
9 yards.
I mean, like, it'd be different
I
if
said no.
it'd be different if like the defense didn't play well, but the defense I think had their best game of the season.
they shut
I mean,
down
the only thing they
Patriots
didn't
offense.
do is get a turnover. Like, but what more do you want to ask? Like,
Yeah.
Garrett Wilson seems pretty annoyed.
Elijah Moore's been annoyed.
But I think he had like 2 catches, right?
Yeah, he did.
Wow, what a
So-
beast!
They still look at Denzel Mims. The guy drops a ball every time.
Yeah, he's
And then
really
they
bad.
try to get the ball to other guys, and Zach Wilson throws it 5 feet over their head.
Yeah.
Or he
They're
missed a
wide open.
screen pass.
Yeah,
It's
so yeah, the check
missed
down
a
to
lot.
Barrios you talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my
Like
favorite pass
5
of the
feet-
week.
They were
Like there's
5 feet over
it's
his
7
head.
yards away. There is literally nobody within 50 feet of him, and he sails it over the dude's head. I don't even know how that's possible.
Nah,
That's like
yeah.
actually a toddler level throw.
And I didn't like people were saying like OTAs this year, like he hasn't looked like before even the season, he didn't look good.
He also
doesn't
blamed it
surprise
on
me.
the win too.
He blames on everyone but him. It's you. It's
Yeah.
you, Zach. It's you.
He blamed it on the wind where like his biggest like strength was always everyone said how strong his arm was. Meanwhile, Mac Jones, whose like biggest weakness, everyone has how weak his arm is, and he was 24 for 28 for 250 yards. So that was just like a terrible attempt at an
But-
excuse for him.
At least Mac Jones throws the ball short passes. What is Zach Wilson?
I mean, yeah.
Oh, there's a guy down the field. Let me chuck it to him. No, dude, just throw short passes. You did that against the Bills at work.
Yeah, Mac Jones is also getting back to taking what's there instead of just throwing it deep for no reason. So
Zach
I
is
mean,
not doing
it's not gonna you're not gonna have pretty stats doing that, but and people are always gonna say, oh yeah, it's all yak, but I mean, I don't care if you're not turning the ball over for no reason. I don't
Yeah.
really care.
Especially
Yeah,
if
It
you're winning
works
a big
last
game
year.
like
It got
that.
you to the playoffs last year.
Yeah, they probably did really well in that playoff game that they got to, right?
Zach Wilson just be benched. Can't play this week. I don't care.
Well, I
I
mean,
don't think he's
Salah,
gonna, honestly.
I don't think
Really?
he is either.
Yeah, I don't
you
think
don't
he
think
will.
he's gonna get benched?
No,
No,
I don't think he's gonna play.
Oh, yeah, no, I think he's getting benched. I hope it's Joe Flacco.
I don't know who
I
it'll
hope
be.
I hope it's Mike White. Or
It would make more sense for it to be Mike White.
Yeah, like why
Why?
play a
can we
90-year-old
put
guy?
in-
Like
can we
that's
put in the practice squad.
Mike White's
quarterback?
the future,
No, bro, stop with the Chris Strevler talk. Get him out of here. The guy is terrible.
Mike White's the future.
I'm curious as to why you say it should be Mike White and not Joe Flacco.
Well, I just think Joe Flacco can't move, and especially that offensive line.
My argument for Joe Flacco is he looked pretty good when we saw him.
He looked all right. He was
He
throwing
looked all-
55 passes a
he
game.
looked all
Yeah.
right.
But Mike
I mean,
White has
against the
literally
Bengals,
been
he did
terrible
nothing.
except for literally one game where he did go crazy, but he's been
I
terrible.
mean, yeah,
ever
and
since
he's
then.
also a veteran. So,
I mean, they're probably both pretty bad options.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. But I would say
So-
they're kind of in a I mean, they're a young team, but like how this season has gone, you have a very realistic chance of making playoffs, and I feel like Flacco gives you the best opportunity to do that.
Yeah, I think if they lose this week, they're not making playoffs.
Probably.
I mean, it also depends on like how other teams do. But like
Yeah.
losing 2 in a row, that put them 6-5, while other teams are just like keep winning.
It's already an uphill battle for them, but and one more loss like that is definitely not going to bode well for them.
Because they still got to play the Bills again. They still got to play the Dolphins again.
You gotta play the Vikings.
Got to play the Vikings.
The
I mean,
Bears.
I don't think the Bears are any. The line put up a fight, so it's not like. Who knows if they play against the Jaguars, how they're gonna do?
One of my favorite quotes is Robert Saleh saying that the offense that they played was not NFL football.
It's not. You have a quarterback who's not even playing at like a college level.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
I think you could have put a high school quarterback and he could have done better. I also do blame the offensive calling, the play calling a little bit.
Don't even get me started on offensive play calling, bro.
But I'm just saying that's part of like the problem, but it was mostly Zach.
How do you have
That
almost
was all
4?
Zach.
Yeah. How do Patriots have almost 400
Nah, it
total
wasn't all
yards
him,
and
but-
score 3 points? That's
Also,
what I don't
Zach
understand.
had like 4 dropped picks.
Yeah, it was at least like 3.
Pretty bad. He got lucky and still had a bad game. Next game we're getting into, we got the Commanders and the Texans. The Texans are the worst team in the league.
Yeah, we don't need to
Really
talk
bad.
about that team. There's
No.
nothing good about that team.
Not Damian Pierce.
Damian
He
Pierce had
doesn't-
8 rushing yards.
Yeah,
It's not his fault that he's the only person like on that football team that could do anything. So the entire team just goes after him.
Especially they were down very early, and there's really nothing you could do at that point with Damian Pierce.
And Davis Mills is terrible.
Yeah, it just talks about him getting benched
Long
soon.
neck.
Yeah, he's gone. They're taking a quarterback first overall.
Yeah, they have to. But maybe we'll see some Kyle Allen action.
Commanders, they're a team that's looking for blood, looking any way to win a game, and they're just getting the job done.
It's the
That's a
Heineke
Taylor
magic.
It is. Taylor Heineke, man. He's an
Yeah,
entertaining
Carson
dude.
Wentz should never see the field again.
I mean, Heineke didn't even like have a good game.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
he's
he
not.
did.
He's not Carson Wentz though.
Yeah, if that was Carson Wentz, they would have probably found a way to lose that game. Or he would have put up 5 touchdowns. There's no in between.
Yeah.
But Antonio Gibson looked pretty good in running the ball. Same with Brian Robinson. J.D. McKissick obviously is done for the year, so gonna need those guys to step up a little bit more. Not that McKissick had that big of a role running the ball anyway, but yeah, I mean they are still technically in the hunt
They're
For that-
they're 100% in the hunt.
No,
for
they
that-
6
for
and
that
5.
division.
Oh,
They're
for the
6 and 5
division?
for the division.
No, they're
yes.
not winning that division.
they're not
I
winning the division.
highly doubt it, but they have a very
The
realistic
Cowboys
chance
are
of
going to
making
win the
playoffs.
division.
Wouldn't
Hot
surprise me.
I think
No, I don't think that's a hot take.
I think they're definitely gonna be above the Giants.
That's a hot take.
That's a hot take. I mean, I don't hate that, especially with how the Giants actually don't have a receiving core.
Oh, you mean
Yeah,
how
with-
they're just actually like not good?
Well, yeah, that too, but we could get into that game right now, actually. Giants Lions.
Jones
I-
is
I-
back. He's back. Turning the
throwing
ball
picks.
over.
Yeah.
The Lions offense seems to be back.
Yeah, but you know who isn't? DeAndre Swift.
He scored, I think.
He did, but he had the third
It's
most
actually
carries on the
RB2
No,
or
he's
RB3.
RB3. Yeah. Justin Jackson literally had 4 more carries than him. And he was actually producing pretty well too. But I mean, they're getting Jamison Williams back soon.
Jamal
If-
Williams has the most rushing touchdowns.
It's insane. He has like what, 12?
Yeah, I think 12.
That's insane. It's Jamal Williams.
He's good
don't
though.
sleep on him.
He's
He
always
is
been
good on
good.
the
He is
Packers,
good,
too.
but like, I mean, if anybody thought that Jamal Williams would be leading the league in touchdowns,
Oh,
Yeah,
nah,
I did. I put
never.
a bet on it before the season.
yeah, Saquon didn't have a good game, averaging 1.5. And when that's what I mean with the Giants. If
Yeah, it
Saquon is not
shows.
doing well, you lose.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Saquon
and
is the Giants.
That showed yesterday.
Especially like Saquon, if he's not doing well, then it puts a lot of pressure on Daniel Jones.
Yeah, and we all knew Daniel
and I
Jones
don't think
sucks.
he can really.
He also
handle
doesn't
the
have
pressure.
receivers
He
though.
doesn't, and
Yeah,
they
but-
did lose like
but still.
Odell Robinson, but
Yeah.
Yeah. But part of it is just like it doesn't matter who your receivers are, you shouldn't be throwing it to the other team. Some of those picks were I mean
Both
that pick
picks
to
were
Aiden
terrible.
Hutchinson, yeah, they were really bad.
They were
Aiden
bad. He
Hutchinson
didn't see
is
Aiden Hutchinson standing there.
It was a great catch though.
It was a good catch, but he was literally standing in between the whole time and he just didn't see him.
Yeah.
And then the other one, he just tried to force it and it just wasn't there.
Exactly. That's why I mean he's not the franchise guy there.
Yeah.
If you can't have a quarterback that you could rely on when your running back isn't doing well, especially with how expendable the running back position is, get that guy out of town, man.
Yeah, now they're not getting Odell.
I mean, it makes a lot of sense because they do need receiver help very badly. But if I am Odell, there's zero chance that I'm choosing the Giants over any other team that's interested.
Yeah.
yeah,
Like I'm taking Packers, Bills, Cowboys, Vikings, Ravens, all of those teams I'm taking over the Giants. It would be a nice story, but
It's
it
not
really
gonna
wouldn't do
happen.
anything for the
No,
Giants.
he's going to the
or
Cowboys.
him. I would say so. If I had to put money
I think
on
he's
it,
going to Cowboys.
Yeah, maybe there's a decision after this week. He said after Thanksgiving. He's obviously got visits with the Giants and Cowboys. I'm pretty sure it's just down between those two. And I think that the reason for his visits, he wants to go to the Cowboys, but he just wants to see, I guess, like just like how the culture is and everything there before he does make his final decision. But I would have to say it's probably Cowboys. Next game we're talking about Rams and Saints. Rams are terrible.
Saints are pretty terrible too.
Yeah, but I mean, Andy Dalton had a crazy game somehow. Granted that the Rams defense is not good, but Andy Dalton does this sometimes where he just has a great game statistically.
And the Rams, they're in shambles right now. Lost
They are.
Stafford.
Ramsey's dust.
Yeah, they don't have Cup right now.
I swear this game was never on red zone the entire day.
Yeah, I did not see it at all.
No, I just saw Ramsey getting burnt.
Yeah,
on
that was
deep
like the
ball.
only time I saw it.
Yeah, and like Tutu Atwell had a big touchdown.
Yeah.
Allen Robinson ended up having a touchdown. He's not.
Yeah, I
stepping
didn't know
up.
that until like hours later.
They continue to not use Alvin Kamara right. It's just weird. Taysom Hill had a pretty solid game though. He had 10 touches overall, 60 yards. I mean, for a dude that's getting literal quarterback money, yeah, you should be using him quite a lot. Next game we're getting into, Bears and Falcons. So Justin Fields, again, still running the ball very well. But a game like this where that pick was pretty bad and in a very bad spot, I can't trust his arm yet. We spoke about it last week. He's one of, if not the best rushing quarterbacks in the league right now, but he just can't get it done with his arm when it comes down to it right now.
Yeah, he missed Mooney on like that deep shot.
Yep.
And those are like pretty much gimme plays if you're an elite quarterback. You need to make those plays, and he's just not making those plays with his arm right now.
Threw a pick to lose again.
They're like in all of these games, they're just finding a way.
Yeah,
to
they
lose.
are. It's always a
Yeah,
close game.
he's like not that guy like yet.
Not yet.
Like he has a chance to
He's getting there.
win or tie a game like every week, and he just doesn't get it done.
I mean, he's at least showing like
No, he's definitely
progress.
showing. Yeah, no, but I'm saying
That's like what you
not-
want to see.
I'm saying he's not there yet. Like what he just said. Like
I'd like them to use Claypool more.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
actually hasn't done anything.
You know, you
Yeah.
got this guy in the trade deadline. Use him.
Yeah, and I mean that's a pretty valuable pick that they gave up too
Yeah.
for a guy that's still getting outplayed by Equanimous St. Brown, which should not happen.
yeah, but the Bears they got a lot better from like the beginning of the year.
Yeah, they definitely did, but they
So
still
like
got a lot of
they
work.
could have like 3 or 4 more wins right now, and they like I said, Fields can't lead that game winning drive or game tying drive.
He also just dislocated his left shoulder.
Yeah.
Pretty cool that he played through it though. Guy's a warrior, but that team is terrible without Justin Fields though.
That O line's like bad, and like they're gonna need someone that could like run around.
Yeah, so I mean, they didn't say if he's going to miss any time, but speaking of a guy that's missing time, Kyle Pitts likely done for the year
Who cares?
for his MCL. Yeah, he didn't
Who
really do much
cares?
anyway, so it doesn't matter.
It's just a
But
loss to them in the blocking game. You just get
Yeah.
another tight end that blocks. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Cordell Patterson had a nice kickoff return.
he's now the league leader all time in
All
kick
time,
return
yeah.
touchdowns. Marcus Mariota continues to look like Marcus Mariota.
He's so
Missing
bad
throws
too.
left and
Yeah.
right.
Or he just like throws it like such bad spots.
I thought he was going to be good too, and like he is good running the ball, but I mean there's so many throws that he just misses. That's why I
If
would
they
love
weren't
to see
good,
Ritter.
all right, I'm not saying they're good, but if they weren't like somehow like at least in the hunt for a playoff spot, he would have been benched by now.
Oh yeah, 100%. And at this point, it's like you definitely can bench him and probably should, but I mean you're winning games.
That's
so
the thing. Yeah, that's why he's still playing.
It's a tough spot to be in, but I would definitely 100% take the upside of what Desmond Ritter could be rather than what Marcus Mariota is right now. He's on like the same level as like I think he's probably a little of an upgrade over Zach Wilson because he could actually make throws.
Oh, he
but
definitely is.
yeah, but I mean it's still like the same tier of like he's not winning you games. He'll lose them for you. Same thing we saw with like Carson Wentz, and then his backup obviously is doing much better than he was. So I don't know. I definitely like to see Ritter. And that's another thing that you might have like a high draft pick. You got to see like what you have. Next game we're getting into is the Raiders and the Broncos game. These two teams are just terrible, and it was not that entertaining of a game.
Yeah, I
It's
think
not entertaining at all.
we all thought it was gonna be like that though.
Yeah, no, I'm not surprised at
Just
all.
Devontae Adams show. That's all it really
Yeah.
was.
He had a great game. Josh Jacobs actually ran the ball very well. 24 carries, 109 yards.
Yeah, it was battle of the terrible coaches.
That is true.
And I actually don't know who the worst coach is out of them. They might both be the worst of all time. It's definitely up there. But Nathaniel Hackett gave up play calling, and the Broncos offense
Doesn't
is
look
just
better.
still bad. It's
Yeah,
still
because
bad.
Russ still isn't good.
Yeah, it's the same old story for him. He's just not looking good. The whole team isn't. Now they waive Melvin Gordon.
They
Chase
also have
Edmonds has a
bad
high
running
ankle sprain.
backs.
Yeah, I mean Latavius Murray is what 47.
Yeah, he's not. He's not good. I don't
No.
care if he scores a touchdown from the 1 yard line. He's not good.
Yeah, he's averaging 2.9 yards per carry on the Raiders defense.
He's not
that's not
good.
good. Cortland Sutton, he's looking okay, but he still
He's-
has like some
Gets like
drops.
5 targets a game. 1 week he'll get 12 targets. 1 week he'll get like 4.
It's a really interesting coaching decision to let Devontae Adams get wide open in overtime.
No, it's because Pat Surtain's not that guy.
He just turned him around and made him look like a baby.
He is a baby.
I mean, every single cornerback in the league has looked bad at one point this year.
Yeah.
There's not like
I
an
mean, it's the
elite
hardest
shutdown.
position to play.
Yeah, 100%. The only guy that actually hasn't been embarrassed is Sauce.
Just wait though.
Yeah,
It'll
you
happen
little-
one day.
I can't
little
wait
Patriots
to
fan.
watch him against DK.
Why DK?
Yeah, like that's kind of like a
I
random
don't
receipt.
know. I
He'll
think
probably
he's
get
gonna
like
get.
Lockett, bro.
I think he's
Bro.
gonna get smoked by Justin Jefferson.
Oh, probably.
He's
Justin
not going to
Jefferson
guard
gets the ball.
Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, that's true.
He's,
He's
not
gonna lock down Adam
Jefferson.
Thielen or KJ Osborne and be like, "Yo, Sauce is him."
Yeah, he'll probably cover.
I
him.
Lost in
guarantee
the
you he's not
sauce.
guarding Justin Jefferson 1-on-1.
Yeah, there's
mean,
no chance.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna make DJ Reed do it. And he's
Yeah,
gonna get
Trayvon
exposed.
Diggs.
And then
get
he's
2
gonna get
catches for
exposed for
21
everything.
yards.
Yeah, Trayvon Diggs did do very well on Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, but how many plays did he actually man up on him?
Probably not many. We could
Yeah.
talk about that game right now. That was embarrassing. Coming off a
Yeah.
huge win last week, and then you just literally do nothing against the Cowboys.
You know what's
Yeah.
also embarrassing is they turned the game off.
They did.
Like everywhere, they turned the game off because it was so bad. They even turned it off in Dallas.
That's
Yeah, well-
embarrassing.
Yeah, it was bad.
There's nothing to say about the Vikings from that game. They didn't do anything. They
Yeah.
did
the
nothing.
much.
Cowboys are good though.
They had like a
The Cowboys
worse
are good.
offensive performance than like the Jets did.
That
And that's
was
saying a lot.
The Cowboys, their running backs just ran over the Vikings.
Yeah. Well,
No,
Zeke
it's just
only
Pollard.
ran over the goal line twice
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
hawk
but
it from Tony
that's
Pollard.
fine.
Yeah, but Pollard could just do the same thing. He
CeeDee
could do
Lamb
everything.
had a big catch.
Tony Pollard, 6 catches for 109 yards and 2 touchdowns. Guy's so explosive. He's so much better than Zeke. I don't
Yeah.
understand it. The only
Jerry
thing is the
Jones in
goal line thing,
shambles.
but
No,
I mean,
Yeah,
Jerry
this
Jones
was
is not
seen
in
now.
shambles, so there's
This-
never.
Yeah, I'll never admit it.
Yeah, I'll never admit it. So
This was actually like the biggest like victory margin for like the Cowboys in their history.
Really?
Yeah.
37 points. But yeah, there's no reason that Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott should be splitting carries. They both had 15. But the only difference between that is Zeke averaged 2.8 and Tony Pollard averaged 5.3. We've been saying it every week. Tony Pollard is much better than Zeke. The goal line thing, I can understand. That's exactly what you did. Throw him there on the goal line. He's definitely a more powerful runner than Tony Pollard. So I don't blame you there. Pass protection, maybe. But Tony Pollard is so much better of a playmaker. Like that offense looked ridiculous because of him. It looks unstoppable at sometimes.
Yeah, they can be a scary team in the
They-
NFC.
Also, their defense, they sacked Kirk Cousins, 7 times?
Kirk
The most
Thuggins
he's
did
been-
not have any time to throw.
Yeah. The most he's been sacked in his career, so
Yeah,
Yeah, I
they get
think they-
sacked on Thanksgiving a lot
I
too.
think the Cowboys lead the league in sacks now.
Probably. Micah Parsons is still killing it. He's having a very strong defensive player of the year kind of year. Next game we're getting into is the Bengals and the Steelers game. T. Higgins absolutely loves playing the Steelers. He has 5 career games against the Steelers and has 100 yards in 3 of them, 100 plus in 3 of them.
it was also nice to see Najee do
No,
something.
it wasn't nice.
He had a great
Yeah.
game.
You know,
2 tutties.
2 tutties. He had 4 catches, which
he had
might
that
be
nice
the most.
hurdle too.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, it only took like 12 weeks.
Yeah, but finally, he had a good game. Samaje Perine came in for the hurt Joe Mixon and decided to look like the best player of all time.
He decided to score on every play.
Yeah,
Eli Apple had a huge game.
he's a beast.
He's so good, bro. He's so good.
Bro, flying.
When we were
knees.
talking about, yeah, he did. When we were talking about how there's not a lockdown number 1 corner in the league, I forgot that Eli Apple was there, so I apologize for that. Pat Frymuth had so many drops in this game. One of the later drives too. I'm pretty sure he had 3 back to back to back.
That's
It was
terrible.
pretty bad. That TJ Watt interception was crazy. Joe Burrow had statistically he did have a pretty good game, but
They threw 2 picks though, but who cares?
Pickens had a pretty good game,
Pickens did have a good game.
but then he
Yeah.
tripped over himself in the end zone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
then he tried to knock a guy out in the
Oh,
field and
yeah.
got ejected.
Yeah, dude, that was like the most random ejection too. I didn't even know what happened. I got an update
Yeah, it's
about it.
because they stopped showing the game on Red Zone. Well, actually, no, Red Zone went off the air. That's why.
Next game, we got the Sunday night Chiefs and Chargers. James got a haircut for this
Yeah.
this game.
Yeah, it's a pretty exciting game overall. It was how I expected it. Won't go down to the last possession. Pacheco ran the ball really well. He's
did.
kind of showing that he's like the RB1 there, even though he's kind of been like that the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, his Clyde sucks.
Yeah, he got hurt too, but
Yeah.
it didn't really matter. He probably wasn't going to play anyways.
Sky Moore stepped up this week, and Patrick Mahomes. I know he didn't say Sky Moore, but he said a bunch of the young guys stepped up, the rookies. That was big.
Yeah,
Helped
Sky
them.
Moore had 3 big catches for first downs, on
Yeah.
3rd down. Travis Kelce, obviously monster game, 3 touchdowns.
You know what's crazy too is that last play was the same play they beat the Chargers last year in SoFi Stadium.
That's
It
really
was the
funny.
same play.
I
It's
feel like they
really
didn't
bad.
use Eckler enough.
He ran the ball pretty well, but they weren't really passing it to him for some reason. The guy is 5th in the league in catches, and then he ends up having 2 catches.
Yeah, that was
I
weird.
I also think the Chargers they gotta stop rushing guys after injuries.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened to Mike Williams. He re-aggravated his injury.
I mean, they almost won the game basically without him anyway.
Keenan Allen had a pretty solid game for his game back. Josh Palmer had a great game though. 8 catches, 106 yards, 2 touchdowns. But I mean, when it came down to it, Jay Herbo, all he had to do was not throw it to the other team, and that's exactly what he did.
I also
Okay.
think that last pick by Herbert was just a really bad throw. Throwing into
It
double
was forced.
coverage.
It was a
Basically triple coverage.
Yeah.
He also got sacked the play before and almost got sacked on that play too.
Yes.
yeah. And
The
it
Chiefs are
wasn't
4th in the
yeah.
league in sacks.
But
Chris Jones is having like a
Yeah, he's having
like
Yeah.
quiet monster year.
he usually does that. He doesn't
Yeah.
get a lot of recognition, I guess, just because he is a D tackle. and he's
Nick
not putting
Bolton
up,
also
the
had like a
crazy
monster
stats.
game besides his 2 like pretty bad penalties he took. But
Yeah.
like he was all over Eckler.
Eckler ended up having like a pretty good game rushing the ball. He's averaging 4.4, had 83 yards and a touchdown. But like we said before, he is a receiving back. The offense is good when he is catching the ball. And to only have him with 2 catches by the end of the game just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So we're recording this on Monday. So obviously can't say anything about the Niners Cards game. But next week, we'll go over that game.
Yeah, we'll talk about the 49ers win.
Yeah, the most.
I hope the Cardinals win now just because you said that.
I
Yeah,
mean, we
that'd be
could
pretty
talk
funny.
about like the pregame, how Kyler's not playing, D
Yeah.
Hop,
Yeah.
No,
D-Hop.
Diop's in.
He's in,
Diop's
but
in. Marquise Brown's not playing. It's in
Yeah.
Mexico.
Yeah.
Robbie Anderson.
Who cares?
Bro,
Who cares,
why even
Tom?
mention his name?
The
Who
guy's
cares about
irrelevant.
that guy?
That was a waste of a trade. Now we're going to go into our MVPs of the week. So for my MVP, I got Devontae Adams. That team has been struggling recently, and he's been frustrated, rightfully so. Ends up having 7 catches, 141 yards, 2 touchdowns, one of them being the game winner against a division rival. I mean, it's pretty much a lost season at this point for them, but great game. He's doing his part.
Yeah, for my MVP, I'm going with Travis Kelce. Obviously, the monster game he had 6 catches, 115 yards, 3 touchdowns, game-winning touchdown. He always comes up big when
They play the
Mahomes
Chargers.
needs him. Well, yeah, that. Actually, just when they play the division in general, but he always comes up big for Mahomes when he needs somebody. So
And he's also always open for some
yeah,
reason.
that too.
All the
And
time.
people can't tackle him.
Yeah, that's also true. All right, so now we got the least biased pick of the week. Go ahead, Rupp.
It ain't biased, bro.
Yeah, it's not.
All right,
Continue.
so my MVP of the week is going to be Marcus Jones
Who's that?
Who the is that guy?
because in a very, very bad game between the Patriots and Jets, he was the only one to make a play, and it was a very big game for division standings, putting the Patriots at 6-4 in a playoff spot. Now we'll see how it goes. Tough schedule, but when they needed a play, ran back the game-winning punt with 5 seconds left to sweep the Jets.
How does that feel, Tyler? To hear those
I don't
words.
really care.
That's
you
not
definitely care. You
I
definitely
told
care.
you. I'm praying for Bill Belichick to die.
Bro.
I actually,
Dude, what the?
dude, I hate that guy, and he hates the Jets. He hates the Jets. And,
There are a lot of people on this planet that hate the Jets, man.
a lot of people on this
I
planet
might.
that hate the Patriots. Trust me.
That's true.
So, my MVP of the week is Zach Wilson. Just kidding. Just don't ever play the sport of football ever again. But really, it's Tony Pollard. You know, I respected him what he wore before the game. Nice Rangers jersey.
Yeah, it was a fake Rangers jersey.
But he did have a big game, and this was a big statement game for the Cowboys in the NFC. He had 80 rushing yards, and then he had 109 receiving yards with 2 touchdowns.
Showing why he's RB1 for the Cowboys. Great game.
Nah, literally never be RB1.
So to go over the predictions for next week, obviously we've got some big Thursday Thanksgiving games coming up. It's a full slate of games for the first time in a while, so a lot of football on. So the first game of the week, obviously Thanksgiving morning, we got the Bills and the Lions. Bills have been playing a lot on Thanksgiving recently. Obviously the Lions have done that like forever, but we're all rocking with the Bills with this one. Pretty obvious reasons.
Yeah, Josh Allen's gonna eat a turkey leg again.
He's gonna do that.
Yeah, I mean, I think Bills will probably win, but it could be a close game. Lions been keeping it close lately.
It's also another
Probably
Bills
gonna
home
not be
game.
close.
Why? Bills haven't blown anyone out in a while.
Bro, all right, they're gonna blow that. The Lions suck.
Yeah, they're on a 3-game win streak though.
They still suck.
They're not great, especially that defense. But I mean, with Josh's struggles recently, who knows? Next game, we got a big NFC East matchup. Also Thanksgiving Day, Giants Cowboys. We're all rocking with the Cowboys. I don't think there's a single person on this podcast that believes the Giants are genuinely a good football team.
Yeah.
No, it's just one recipe for the Cowboys. Stop Saquon. They're fine.
That's
They already beat the Giants
Yeah,
once.
they already beat the Giants in MetLife. You're in your home stadium on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
It's easy.
Giants do have a pretty solid defense, but it's not going to amount to much when the Cowboys defense is going to be eating Daniel Jones alive. And I mean, there's so many
Probably.
weapons on that Cowboys offense right now. So this should be another one that's just like an easy game. it could end up being close just because it's a division game, but the Cowboys have looked like when they look on, they look unstoppable. We saw that last week, putting up 40 on a team that maybe top 3 in the league. Granted, not a great defense, but not a
Yeah,
bad
I think the Giants defense is like their only hope of staying in the game.
or if Saquon gets it going early. It's also weird that when they're down, it's just like Saquon is completely out of the game plan. Like, especially with how light you are at receiver, you got to just get that guy the ball in space, just throw him screens, literally have him out wide, line him up at a tight end, wildcat, literally anything. That guy is your offense. Daniel Jones will make some plays here and there, but he wasn't. So, all right. And then the last Thanksgiving game, we got the Patriots and the Vikings. I'm going with the Vikings. Everybody else got the Pats on this one. I'm curious to hear what you think. Not you, Rupp. James, let's hear it from you.
Well, first, Kirk Cousins prime time. It's just a
Damn
never
it, I
works out.
forgot. I'm going to Patriots. No, I'm kidding. I'm still rocking with the Vikes.
I think the Patriots defense is just going to absolutely eat up Kirk Cousins. Dalvin Cook probably will get shut down. It's really just Jefferson, and he might even get shut down.
He'll be double teamed the entire game.
Belichick's usually good at stopping like star receivers. So as long as the Patriots offense could score some points, I think
they'll be able to run the ball pretty easily. Even though like offensive line's a little banged up, the Vikings defense is really not good. We saw what Tony Pollard and Zeke did, even though like Zeke didn't have a great game, but like overall the running backs just put up like well over 200 total yards.
Yeah, Stevenson will probably go off.
I think it's going to be a close game.
Yeah, I think it'll be close too.
I just think as long as the Patriots protect Mac Jones, I think they'll be fine. You're playing Kirk Cousins in prime time.
Yeah, I'm still going to rock with the Vikings on this one. Obviously, their offense did just get shut down, but there are just a lot of pieces to that offense. The primetime Kirk Cousins thing definitely scares me, though. I'm not going to lie. It's a very real thing.
It is.
Next game we're getting into, we got the Texans and the Dolphins. Dolphins, easy.
Yeah.
Texans suck. Dolphins are good.
Yeah, Texas worst team in the league. I don't even think they got to play Tua this week, and they'll be fine.
I don't know. The Texans are really bad. With the Dolphins, their offense is very explosive. Now with the addition of Jeff Wilson, who's been looking great, they are a very, very good team right now.
Yeah, their defense isn't that bad. I mean, they had Bradley Chubb. That helps a lot.
They definitely got some good pieces on defense. I don't know why they haven't been like that good this year, though. It's kind of weird. Next game, we got the Bengals and the Titans. This is actually a huge game for AFC seeding purposes. But we're all rocking with the Bengals on this one.
Is Jamar Chase going to play this week?
It says it's a possibility.
He's practicing.
I know he's practicing. I didn't know if he's playing. I mean, I just don't think the Titans will just probably be able to keep up, even if Derrick Henry has a good game. It's not like their defense is amazing.
And we've seen the Titans defense look good. Like they looked really good against the Chiefs a couple weeks back.
Yeah.
Bengals beat the Titans in the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, the Mickey 1 seed, which is going to happen.
That's how it's going to go again.
But like we were talking about with the Vikings before, there's just so many pieces that you're going to need to stop. And especially if Jamar Chase plays, I just don't think that they're going to be able to stop that Bengals offense. And even if they do limit them, they're not going to be able to put up enough points. Even though Ryan Tannehill did look very good last week, but
it's still Ryan Tannehill.
And half the time that he looked good, it was just the receiver was wide open. So Malik Willis could have made those throws, maybe.
Yeah, actually, I don't know about that.
I don't know about that either.
I wouldn't be too sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised though if the Titans win just because Derrick Henry is Derrick Henry, but I don't see the Bengals defense like stopping him.
I'm just a Titans hater.
Yeah, we know.
Well, it's almost pretty much guaranteed that they're going to run a jet sweep to Malik Willis and he's going to fumble. So that's definitely going to be a big momentum swing for the Bengals when it happens. Next game, we got the Broncos and Panthers. I really don't want to watch this game.
No, actually,
I'm not watching this game. This game will be shown on Red Zone like 4 times.
Yeah, I'll just go get a snack when they put it on the TV.
Maybe there's some Sam Darnold action. We'll see.
Hopefully not.
It's a pretty good passing defense, just a pretty good defense in general that the Broncos got. So I'm assuming Baker will do nothing once again. But I'm rocking with the Panthers on this one. They all got the Broncos. I've chosen the Broncos many times, and they've let me down every single time. And I feel like if Deontay Foreman actually gets it going, that's going to be a huge difference.
Probably won't.
He has a great game, and then
he's very hit or miss.
Yeah, he'll either have like 113 yards or 20. So I'm banking on him getting the 113.
I wouldn't. The Broncos defense is actually good.
Yeah,
it is. I mean, I think it go either way. Both teams are bad, Next game, we got the Bears and the Jets. I have not made a decision on this yet. Rupp and Tyler are rocking with the Jets. James rocking with the Bears. I am contingent on what happens with Justin Fields because obviously dislocated his shoulder. If he doesn't play, I will go with the Jets unless Zach Wilson's starting. Then I'll still go with the Bears.
I'm just
going with the Bears.
Yeah, I'm just picking the Jets either way because even if Fields plays and he's like injured, I feel like he's not going to do much against the defense. So like Zach Wilson probably won't. Even if Zach Wilson or whoever won't probably have to do too much.
I'm following the coin flip.
Barrios playing quarterback at this point.
Yeah, probably shouldn't do that.
Love that
Braxton.
guy. Yeah.
I mean, I actually think that Joe Flacco should start, like I said before. So if Joe Flacco starts, I'm choosing the Jets. Pretty much any other scenario, I'm going Bears.
It could be Mike White or Joe Flacco. It probably will be Joe Flacco because he started 3 games this year.
Yeah,
right?
they love Joe Flacco. That's why I don't even think Mike White's really a possibility for them.
But I don't know because Joe Flacco's been inactive the last
I don't know why they're doing that. It's so weird. Like they like Joe Flacco better than Mike White, obviously, but they're having Joe Flacco inactive and then Mike White the backup.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's pretty much just a glorified coach at that point. Next game, we got the Falcons and the Commanders. We're all rocking with the Commanders. They've been looking pretty good. Out of the last 5 games, they won 4. Is that right?
I think it's 5 out of the last 6.
5 of the last 6.
Yep.
Even better. Heineke is looking good. The team's looking good under Heineke. He's lit a fire under them. It's 2 teams that aren't great that have been winning games.
Yeah.
But I think the Commanders just overall are a better team. And Chase Young might play, so that's a big thing. Next game, we got the Bucks and the Browns. We're all rocking with the Bucks except for Tyler. He's rocking with the Browns still. What's your reasoning?
Yeah, I just feel Nick Chubb's gonna have a good game. Amari Cooper can be used well. We saw that against the Bills. I think he's gonna play a big role. David Njoku, I think if they get him involved, I just like the Browns over the Bucks. The Bucks, they just been like hit or miss this year, I feel like.
Mostly miss, but
Yeah. I mean, the last 2 weeks they've been good, but
yeah. 2-0 after Brady's divorce. They're gonna just
It'll be
keep
3-0
rolling,
after
maybe.
this week.
That's what I'm banking on, but we'll see. I could definitely see this going either way because it's not like the Bucks. They've looked pretty solid these past 2 weeks, but it's not like they look how they did last year.
No, they don't. They do look a lot better though.
They do. Definitely, yes. Especially with Rashad White. He might be taking over the starting role. Probably should.
Definitely should.
Yeah, he's looked pretty good in his opportunities. So if he's getting a full workload, it's a big boost to that offense. Next game, we got the Ravens and the Jags. The Ravens looked like absolute poop water. I can't say that. Gross, bro. Next game, we got the Ravens and the Jaguars. The Ravens did not look good last week against a very bad Panthers team, but the Jags haven't looked good.
Ever.
Yeah, I mean, they did look good against the Chiefs a little bit, their offense, but we're all rocking with the Ravens. I guess we all just think they're a better team. That's
Yeah,
personally
it's
what
pretty
I think.
simple.
The better
in my
roster,
opinion, at least.
Lamar,
Yeah,
better
I mean,
defense too.
crazier things have happened, but I don't see it happening.
I wouldn't be that surprised just because how bad the Ravens
Yeah.
did look last week, but I think they're just a better team right now. Next game, we got the Raiders and the Seahawks. James is rocking with the Raiders. We all got the Seahawks. James, what are your thoughts?
I think the Raiders maybe could get some momentum off the win last week. It's a pretty big win. I mean, they beat the Broncos. I guess it's not that big of a
Slow
win,
down.
but Devontae Adams will probably have another monster game.
Especially if Josh Jacobs is running the ball well.
The Seahawks also didn't look good the last game they played
Yeah, against
the Bucks. Yeah, the Raiders' offense is like still good at times. It's just like
it is.
coaching is bad. Their defense is bad.
They do have like a lot of talent on offense.
Yeah.
Even though I mean they have injuries right now, but with an offense with Devontae Adams and Josh Jacobs, who's looked the best he has in his career so far, the Seahawks are like a sneaky good defense at times. Like they do have a lot of solid pieces. Obviously, we're just talking about Tariq Woolen. There's a bunch of other guys over there that make plays, but this could go either way. I could see it going either way. I'm leading Seahawks. Next game, we got the Chargers and the Cardinals. We're all rocking with the Chargers. Keenan
I
Allen
don't
coming
even
back.
care if Kyler Murray plays. The Cardinals are terrible.
Yeah, he's too busy playing Call of Duty, so
He hasn't played since Warzone came out.
Yeah, he'll never
Coincidence?
play
I
again.
think not. Yeah, I guess we'll see how the Cards look tonight. Maybe Marquise Brown will be back. The Chargers, they looked pretty good against the Chiefs. They're getting healthy now, except for Mike Williams, who got hurt again. But
Yeah,
defensively, they still like the same
the
struggles.
Cardinals just like never look good. Like
Yeah,
they
have
won
like
with Colt McCoy, but that was against John Wolford and Bryce Perkins. So
I could definitely see this one going either way too. But once again, I just think the Chargers have been playing better, getting healthier. Herbert's been inconsistent this year, but I'm taking Herbert over Kyler, Colt McCoy too. But hopefully Kyler plays, make it a more
yeah,
interesting game. Next game, we got the Saints and the 49ers. We're all rocking with the 49ers.
it's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah.
Saints are.
Yeah,
I don't think they're good. They kind of just beat some bad teams, but
Andy Dalton just had a lucky game last week.
he looks good against when they play a bad team, but they play a good team and they just don't do anything.
And the Niners have looked good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We still like haven't seen a fully healthy Debo in that offense with McCaffrey. Maybe we're gonna see it tonight.
Maybe.
We'll see. I think Niners defense is just so
Yeah.
good right now. And it's not like it's a hard offense to stop. They're not even using their best player.
Yeah.
So next game, we got the Rams and the Chiefs. We all got the Chiefs on this one very, very, very easily.
Yeah,
James?
hopefully. We said that about the Colts the last time.
Yeah, but there's no Cup. There's
Yeah,
maybe
I know.
no Stafford.
I mean, the Rams aren't even even with Cup, they weren't even a scary team this year. And especially without Cup, they're basically just nothing. I mean, the Rams defense hasn't even looked good this year.
Yeah.
Ramsey hasn't
Even
looked good this
stop-
year.
yeah,
Probably
Ramsey.
roast Ramsey.
Yeah, like Ramsey will get cooked by like Justin Watson.
Probably.
To
Should be a
see-
very easy game for the Chiefs, but who knows?
It's definitely going to depend on like the Chiefs wide receivers. Obviously, Tony going down, Juju got KO'd, McColl's been hurt. He's on IR now.
Yeah, I think Juju's gonna be back next week though. I
Yeah,
mean, even
but
if he isn't, I mean, they looked good yesterday with what they had.
you could put Justin Watson at wide receiver 1. I'm still taking the Chiefs all day.
Yeah. But I mean, none of the Chiefs receivers are even really like bad. They're all just like mid receivers. Like Justin Watson's not bad.
Mahomes makes them good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mahomes is just great. It doesn't matter who he's throwing to. They're going to look good. And we saw Sky Moore stepped up pretty big. So.
Sky Moore gained some confidence. Hopefully he could have like a role while like people are injured.
And then once again, the always open Travis Kelce is the best head in the league by far.
Yeah.
Maybe the best ever. Rupp will not agree, but he's up there at least.
Yeah, Pacheco ran the ball well last week too, so hopefully he keeps that up.
So next game, we got the Sunday night game, Packers-Eagles. We're rocking with the Eagles on this one again.
I actually wanted to pick the Packers.
I
But it's
can't.
like they're
I mean,
very hit or miss.
Yeah.
so I wouldn't
Like,
be
I don't
surprised
know.
because the
I
Packers
wouldn't
have
be
been playing pretty
surprised,
well.
especially because the Eagles lost and then almost lost. But it's just you never know with the Packers, so
Mhm.
I just can't pick them.
I think that the recipe for them to win this game is, like I say every week, Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. We saw that the Eagles' run defense struggled. These
Struggles like every week.
every week, yeah. So, I mean, when you have a running back duo like that, and Aaron Jones, who is, I think, maybe a top 8, top 7 running back in the league, he's pretty underrated. He's great. You give him the ball a lot, he does special things with it. So that's if they win, it's going to be an Aaron Jones going off game.
I don't think the Packers wide receivers are gonna really do anything. I think especially with James Bradbury and Darius Slay, considering what their wide receiver core is, the Packers, I really don't think they're gonna do anything. I think they gotta rely on Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon.
So last game of the week, Monday night, Steelers and Colts. I feel like they have to flex this game out,
It
right?
probably will be.
Tyler, you're really excited about this great matchup on primetime, right?
It's a terrible. I really wish it was like Bengals and Titans playing, but you can't be doing Steelers and Colts.
There's probably 9 other matchups that are occurring on Sunday that I would like to see more than the Steelers and Colts game. So we're rocking with the Steelers, except for Tyler. He's rocking with the Colts. He just loves what Jeff Saturday did, almost beating one of the best teams in the league after having a nice big win. What are your thoughts, Tyler?
I think it's gonna be interesting to see Kenny Pickett on prime time, see how he does. But I don't know. Najee had one good game. I could see him not doing good this week. Maybe Jonathan Taylor could step up. Their wide receivers aren't that bad. It's hard. I just like the Colts.
Understandable. It's not like the Steelers are that great
Yeah, they're
or
not.
even good.
Like that game's kind of just like 50-50.
Yeah. I think that the deciding factor for me is TJ Watt.
Yeah.
You've seen that Alex Highsmith turns into TJ Watt also when they play together. So it should be a pretty terrible game whenever it's played. So to go over the records for the week, we're not counting the Monday night game that, like we said, is occurring right now as we're recording this. So me and James won the week, went 10-3. Tyler went 9-4, and Rupp ended up losing the week, going 8-5. So he also choked the 2-game lead that he had on me. So right now we're tied for the year, 88-59. Tyler's coming back, man. He's 83-64. And James, he still has that lead. He extended it a few games. He's now 91-56. But like we said, it's anybody's game right now. We're all doing well.
It's a road to 100 for me. Let's go.
Yeah, hey, you might hit it this week. So that concludes this week's episode. Hope everyone has a happy Thanksgiving. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at the Sportorium Pod and on Instagram at the Sportorium Podcast. Till next time.
Go Chiefs.
Adios.